What's up, guys? Long time no see. Me again. I thought I would show you what I am into. Might have you guys start following me around a little bit. Not that I'm doing tons, but since the last videos that you guys, man, I think it's like, what, 6 years ago I shot some videos, and I haven't really done anything since. I've been working still. Moved back to my house and been doing stuff out of my garage. So anyways, this is what I'm into. Got this thing here. Got Polaris Sportsman 400, 2005 model. I've got to do a carb rebuild on this. I have got a, yeah, and look at this filth, man. I have got to get this stuff cleaned up. There is all sorts of like really good stuff in here, but it's a little hard to get to. So here is the pressure washer pump. This is off a Honda. Giving me some really weird stuff. So the owner said that it was putting out less water when the engine was running than when the engine was off. So pretty much with the engine off, you squeeze the wand, water comes out. When you start the engine, nothing comes out. And in fact, nothing came out so much to the point that it blew the thermal relief valve. And so I replaced it, nothing. So that's a project I got to get going. I've got this Ryobi thing here that I am finishing up. This thing is insane. So simple fix, fuel lines, carb rebuild, but why am I doing all this? Because a guy brought it over, said, hey, check this out. Somebody worked on it before me. Let me know if it's good. I get in there, the diaphragm, the metering diaphragm is stiff. I'm like, okay, well you need a new kit put in at least. The carburetor looks really clean. Fuel lines are actually good, but they're a little bit stiff and they're popping off. And then I start finding stuff. So get this. So I pull it off. There was, I've already tore it off. This was the homemade gasket that was on there, which did not have the hole. This is a homemade gasket too. This is what I made. So the little hole right here, which is the vacuum pulse coming off of the little intake manifold, this was actually on 180 degrees, so it wasn't matching the hole in the engine. So therefore the hole was over here. Then the gasket was 180 degrees this way, so the hole's here, but the gasket's on the other side, so that wasn't running. And then the carburetor was 180 degrees from that. So it's that top hole, and you turn it this way. So they had this hole, which was pointed this way, but the gasket was this way, but the carburetor was this way. So everything had to be switched around in order to get all the holes to line up. And then I've pressure tested this, and I did the vacuum test, pressure test, all this bubble stuff, blah, blah, blah. I can show you guys that in another video. Get all the way to the end, and this check valve, which is the main jet on the inside, has had something stuck through it. So the little Mylar check valve in there, I can shine a light in, it's all pushed in and messed up. I'm like, ugh. So anyways, I got to order a carb. These things are only like 15 or 20 bucks. I got to actually make sure that they're not the Chinese knockoffs though. Not that they don't work. I have had 50-50 success with them. But anyways, I got to get on there and get the carb order for this one. So I did everything. I did a full rebuild kit in this. And finally, at one point, got the bubble to start pumping. Okay, so back up. How did I know that that check valve was bad? Because the pressure test, all three pressure tests were perfect. There was no leaks in the gaskets or anything like that. But how did I know? When you pump this thing up, okay, it was just sucking in a bunch of air bubbles. And you could hear the air bubbles. It was making like all these little funny air bubbles noises from the throat and from this. And even though this was totally submerged down in the fuel, it just wouldn't suck up. So pulled it out. And the way that I test this is simply by taking a piece of hose, sticking the hose, like just pushing it onto it. Yeah, we get the point. Push it right onto it, and then blow and suck with your mouth on the other end. And you'll feel it like kicking on and kicking off. So this thing has been like one pain in my butt. So anyways, something that was supposed to be super easy has gotten a little more complicated, but I mean, big deal. So I threw a new carburetor on it. It's got new fuel lines, fixed the gasket, and it should run. So this riding mower here, it's pouring rain. Check this out. All right, there's my next one too. That's my 2000 hatch that I got. It's the CX, it's a light version. I just put a motor in that a couple months ago. Just a D16Y7, non-VTEC version. But I've got the D16Z6 motor right here, and I've got the broken D16Y7 motor there. This one is fixing, it's got the pistons all taken out. Everything is all through here and all through here, and there's the camshaft and everything up there. So anyways, this is going to get taken to the shop, get honed over. I'm going to run 75.5 Vitaras in it, and do probably the Vitara rods too, the P2POs. Just kind of a basic budget build. My goal though is 400 horse on this. The end game with this is to beat my dad's 65 Mustang. Dad has dropped a pretty penny into his Mustang. He's got a 347 stroker that's pushing, we don't know, we're going to take it to the dyno. He's pushing, based on the builder, 550 horse. It's a carb setup that he's got a Flowtech EFI kit put on top of it. So anyways, pretty big thing. And I told him I was going to beat him with a turbo build on this Civic for much cheaper. Anyways, let's close this. So back to this thing. This thing is crazy. So it's got one of those lovely Nicky carburetors on it, which, as you all know, has this honeycomb style bowl gasket. The biggest thing that I run into with these is the little gasket. Let's see if I can back this up. I had to push everything because of the rain. And this is all just thrown together. I know. This gasket right here seats around the float bowl section, and that gasket leaks. And when that gasket leaks, I have found that you get surging, like a on idle and even full throttle and stuff. So if you're ever going to take these apart, replace that thing and save yourself the headache. For that matter, just replace this one too. These don't go as bad quite as often. But anyways, this is a good carburetor. I put this thing on. So this one has been cleaned through the ultrasonic cleaner right there like twice. I ran it through for like an hour. Came out really nice. Put the thing on, it would not run off choke. I could choke it, get it to run, and it would stay running. The second I turn choke off, it would die. So I pull it out, I'm checking over everything. Now, you guys know the main jet sits down on the inside. The main jet is laying here somewhere, kicked around on the floor. Yeah, I gotta get this stuff cleaned up. When it rains, I get squished into this garage. But hey. So, anyways, the main jet goes up inside there, and I could look through it and see daylight perfectly clear, like it was no problem. But when I compared it to the other jet of this carburetor that I put on and it ran perfect, the jet, even though I could see through it, it was much smaller. So there was just a bunch of crap around the outside rim of it. Popped it out. I kid you not, I had this carb off like 15 times because I was going through each piece. I wanted to like really figure out what was the actual thing that was going bad on it. Was it this? Because these will warp and then they'll not seal properly. I actually had the needle, check this out. Well, the needle here, this is the needle. This needle, focus. This needle got thrown into the ultrasonic cleaner too because it had some junk on it. The tip of it swelled up like twice as large as the other one. And so what it was doing is it was still allowing fuel to come through, but not enough fuel. But that wasn't my original problem. My other original problem was just that main jet. But anyways, that was one. I did actually replace the needle with another one. So anyways, this one is finally done as far as running. This thing has been sitting for quite some time. D100's in really good shape, but just didn't start. So anyways, this one, it's got a dead battery on it too, so I'm jumping it off with the Civic that's in my driveway. So yeah, I've got to finish doing the tune-up on this, get the blade sharpened, do a full, make sure the deck's leveled, grease everything, blow the cooling fins out, a little bit of junk in there, change oil, filters, all that good stuff. So that is probably tomorrow. And tomorrow I've also got the carburetor rebuild kit for this one coming in. Now this one has got to go out like tomorrow, something like that. I've had it for about a week. So we got to get the carburetor out of here. We'll pull all the air box out, get everything cleaned out, throw that filthy thing in an ultrasonic cleaner. You can't see it, but it is nasty down in there. Look at that, that's part of the carb. So we'll get that thing brand spanking new looking. This four-wheeler here that's got a ton of junk sitting on it, I have actually got I've got the cam chain tensioner out. Cam chain, what we're going to be doing is replacing the cam chain and the two gears, because when I put this thing on top dead center, it is not like there's enough stretch in the chain that the indicator marks are not where they should be. So what we're getting is a miss on it when you're starting it. Like even if you just try to pull the rope, it'll about yank your arm off. And then when it does run, it runs with a little pop every now and again. And so we're suspecting the timing is out enough on that valve that it's popping through the intake valve. So anyways, we got to get the two gears and the chain ordered for that one. And I got the two new tires that I'll throw on my machine outside. My modified Harbor Freight, Horrible Freight tire changer. So yeah, anyways, and then we got the little chainsaw here, just a simple pull one. We'll do a carb rebuild on it. He's already put fuel lines on it, but it's got to be done today or tomorrow. Yeah, something like that. Oh, anyways, we'll keep you guys up. You guys can follow me along. We'll do some of these builds together, and you can just enjoy watching.